And welcome back to Kivumbi 2017. We'll continue with our conversation in a few minutes, but for now, I want us to cross over live to Eldoret and bring in my colleague Elvis Kosgei. Elvis, thank you very much for joining us. Let's talk about the campaigns that Uhuru Kenyatta has been making in the region for the last couple of months. Very many visits to that region, and so has NASA on the other hand. But let's concentrate mainly on President Uhuru Kenyatta. Back in 2013, he was able to get about 74% of the total vote. Have things changed so far with the inroads that NASA has tried to make? And really, what are the residents saying about NASA's efforts in that region and President Uhuru Kenyatta's dominance in regards to 2013 elections?
Thank you very much, Betty. Indeed, the Jubilee Party has been making inroads in the North Rift region, and to be specific, in Uasin Gishu County. If you can remember, two days ago, the Uhuru-Ruto duo were here in the 64 stadium. And what I can remember is that day they painted Eldoret town red in a bid to voters to vote for Uhuru-Ruto for another term come the general election. But some of the things also the Uhuru-Ruto duo have been doing in this region is that they have been commissioning multi-billion projects. Remember, like 2 months ago, they were at new KCC company, which is located in Ainapko constituency. The president and his deputy commissioned 500 million shillings to the new KCC, which is an ultra-modern company. You can also remember there's a multi-billion road project at a place called Kapkatembu. This is the Rivertex Cheptarwai Road. In Elgeyo Marakwet County, there's Iten Nyaru Road, which also the president commissioned. If I can also remember, it was the African Economic Zone. This was a first private business firm, which the brainchild of the business is David Lagat. And the president and his deputy, I remember the deputy president was there, and the project costs around 200 billion shillings. So these are some of the things that the Uhuru-Ruto duo have been making this region in a bid to woo voters in the forthcoming general election. And remember, Uasin Gishu County, we have new registered voters close to 450,000. And in 2013, as you've mentioned, they garnered around 74% of the voters. And this time round, they are planning maybe to tilt that scale and maybe garner more than 80% in this region. And with me, I have residents of Uasin Gishu. Labda mweze kutuambia, kuna miradi president amekuwa kizindua kwenye kampeni yake. Kuna KCC, kuna AZ hiyo, kuna ya Rivertex. Hii miradi imekuwa ikiwafaidi aje nyinyi wakazi wa kaunti ya Uasin Gishu?
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Benjamin Leting. Kwa ile miradi president ameinstall kama KCC imetusaidi wakaji wa Uasin Gishu, kwa sababu saa hii watu wanafanya interview KCC. Mambo ya kazi imekuwa sawa sawa. Maziwa ambaye tumelete inalipwa on time. Na ile kitu kingine ambaye tumeshukuru president ni ile ya AEZ ambaye inaongozwa na DL. Saa hii akiandika watu 40,000 ndio tabaidi watu wa Eldoret. Na tunaona ile kazi president amelaunch Eldoret kweli anatupenda. Ngine ambaye president ametulaunch juzi ni bypass, ambaye itasaidia watu wa Jeblaske na usaidia watu wa kaunti ya Uasin Gishu kwa kuezi congestion ambayo iko Eldoret ya magari, ambayo hiyo tatoka Jeblaske kuelekea Tarbo, ndio saidia watu wa Uasin Gishu. Kitu cha pili ni ile njia ya kwenda River Celia, ambayo imesaidia watu wa huko kulete chakula, kulete maziwa, ambayo itakuwa rahisi sana kwa watu wa Mosop mpaka Jepterwa huko. Na kitu ya muhimu sana ni ya juzi, president uliona kweli anatupenda. Wakati alipoingia 64, tukaenda sisi wote tukaona president anapenda watu wa county hii. Kwa ile vitu ameleta bande hii imetusaidia kabisa. Na tunasema ile ngine siasa ambaye hatuna maneno kwa siasa ya saa hii. Sababu president apata 97% kwa siasa ya saa hii ambaye tunaenda kupiga kura.
Labda nikukatize, kabla president aje kulikuwa na joto la kisiasa kidogo, na ikabidi wagombea wa Jubilee wakamtaka aje aseme rasmi kwamba tunataka tujue kama mna support Jubilee candidates ama mtakuwa mna support wale wagombea huru. Je, unadhani kwamba iliweza kupunguza joto la kisiasa?
Kabisa. Tangu president anakuja juzi, imemaliza joto ya siasa Uasin Gishu. Sasa hii president arrest assure. Ile kazi imebaki kidogo, itamalizwa na excellency Governor Mandago na Oscar Sudi ya Kapsariet. Hakuna kazi sasa hii imeisha.
Umefaidika vipi kutokana na hiyo miradi ambayo president ameweza kulaunch?
The president has launched several projects in the Uasin Gishu County.
Yes.
especially the last mile project, which is ongoing. Each and every household now has power. There are so many home industries that are coming up. You can even do some processing at your home village, and do some businesses with this. Take, for example, the street light in town. Business community can attest that. They can do business 24 hours. Another project is the Africa Economic Zone, which has employed 40,000 youths directly. And there will be another 200 youths indirectly. So to me, I think Jubilee government is doing great work here in Uasin Gishu, and that's why we will vote in again. Another thing is the multi-billion projects in terms of infrastructure. Take, for example, the bypass, Cheblaskei bypass to Juakali. I believe there are so many things that will come up when that project is going on, and that will bring development to the Uasin Gishu County and will benefit directly to the young people in terms of employment. So we have no question about the development record of our president and the deputy president.
Okay. Yeah. Many thanks. Betty, as you also know, is that there is a grueling battle between Uasin Gishu Governor Jackson Kiplagat Mandago and the independent candidate Zedekiah Kiprop Bundotich. And the president, last time he was here, I remember in the Eldoret CBD, he was forced to draw a clear line whether he was supporting the independent candidate or they were supporting a Jubilee candidate. If you remember, in Uasin Gishu County, there have been upsurge of independent candidates. If I can mention 3 constituencies, we have Turbo constituency where the Jubilee candidate Kevin Okwara is battling it out with Janet Sitiene, who is also an independent candidate. Remember, Turbo constituency is the home turf or the rural home of Deputy President William Ruto. We have an Enapkoi constituency where we have the Samuel Chepkonga, Member of Parliament of Enapkoi, who is battling it out with William Chepkut, who is an independent candidate in the region. If I can mention Kapseret constituency, we have Oscar Sudi, the incumbent, plus other leaders who are also eyeing the seat. So it's something that also the president and his deputy were forced to draw a clear line. And if that rally at 64 Stadium is anything to go by, the president endorsed the governor of Uasin Gishu, Jackson Mandago, whereas his deputy president, William Ruto, who was perceived to be backing Zedekiah Kiprop Bundotich, also supported Mandago and other Jubilee candidates, including woman representative Gladys Bosch-Sholei. We also have the senator, the Jubilee nominee for senatorial position, Margaret Kamar, and other leaders who were there at 64 Stadium.
All right. Elvis, let's talk about the dealings that, you've talked about. And, Jackson Mandago came out and actually endorsed an ODM candidate. And maybe 2 weeks ago, NASA came out to endorse Mandago, and he's vying on a Jubilee ticket. So what's all this with the mixed signals that these politicians are sending, especially with the local politics?
Betty, it's something that it's very interesting because locals here are, I can say that is the talk of the town. Jackson Mandago was at a place called Langaswad where he endorsed Charles Okumu. This is an ODM candidate who is eyeing the seat of Langas, which is currently held by a Jubilee candidate. So it's something that in Eldoret town, it's very interesting because what I can also mention is that in other parts of the country, including Turbo constituency, where we also have an independent candidate by the name Janet Sitiene. So local politics have been nominating, and maybe just to get one local, aweze kucomment. Nataka uniambie, juzi Mandago aliweza kumchagua mgombea wa MCA kutoka kule Turbo, na ni wa ODM. Hauoni kwamba hii haiendani na mazingira ya hapa?
I am Ezekiel Samoei. I am a diehard of the Jubilee Party. And I don't see the reason as why people should speculate that much that the governor went against the party program. We support that one because the current Jubilee nominee, MCA nominee for Langas, has been misbehaving, going against the party structure by supporting the rival candidate of the independent, who is rivaling the current governor of Uasin Gishu, who was nominated under the Jubilee Party. So we wanted the MCA of Langas, who is Jubilee nominee, to support the governor, who is running a Jubilee ticket, because we are in Jubilee. He is in Jubilee. Why should he went outside and fight and campaign against the sitting governor, who is the governor nominee of Jubilee? We are in Jubilee and we are supporting Jubilee 100%.
Okay. Betty, the NASA Brigade was also at 64 Stadium, and they equally endorsed Jackson Kiplagat Mandago as the governor of Uasin Gishu. I remember Kalonzo Musyoka, the NASA deputy leader, say that if he was to vote in Uasin Gishu County, then we'll vote for Jackson Mandago. Something that Bomet County Chief Isaac Bomet also said that to residents that if you meet Mandago, endeni salamieni yeye, ni rafiki yangu. We also had Bungoma Senator, who is Moses Wetangula, and he said that they only viewed Mandago as the only leader who should take up the governorship position when it comes to the general election. So it's something that the governor has been endorsed by the Jubilee ruling party. Then on the other hand, we are seeing the NASA Brigade also endorsing the very, very governor. So I think to some of the political analysts who have managed to talk to is that the opposition view the independent candidate Zedekiah Kiprop Bundotich as a project of William Samoei Ruto, something that William Ruto has denied on several occasions. Betty.
All right, thank you very much. Elvis Kosgei just breaking down the politics of Uasin Gishu County. Remember, just 2 days ago, President Uhuru Kenyatta toured the region, maybe in one of his last campaigns, really, before the election. He has been talking to us from Eldoret town. Let me come to